did we wash the car?
Yeah.
Was it too loud? Is it too noisy? But hey, the car's clean, right?
Yeah.
Thumbs up. Hi, Charlie.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
I love you.
Love you too.
In height with transparent background on Google. You can social media logo, so you can download these social.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel. And I just want to say, if you somehow in this world work professionally with After Effects from Adobe, you have my utmost respect. Man, I know my way around a computer, but it's been a process learning some of this stuff. I'm hoping some of my skill sets from Adobe Premiere and Photoshop translate over. But I digress. Guys, we're going to talk about what car we're going to take on our next trip. You know, and one of those things that we have to consider when doing these trips is gas price. So right now I'm in our Ford Explorer. It's a 2018 with about an 18-gallon tank. And well, gas isn't cheap. Last time we were in California, it was roughly about $6.30 a gallon. When I was checking online to see what our gas pricing would look like, it looks like right now where we're going, it tends to be in that $4.30 to $4.45 range per gallon, which is still outrageous, but a lot more doable than $6.30. And when we usually fill up, we fill up about a quarter tank on these trips. Last trip we took, going to California by way of San Diego to Anaheim, we actually filled up a total of 3 times. We filled up once on the way there, we filled up once while there, and then we filled up on the way back. But each one of those trips was about $50 to $60 a stop. But again, at $6.30 a gallon. Now we're looking at $4.30 a gallon. Rough estimation, we're going to be looking at about maybe $40 a fill stop at this point. And we're going to go based off of the 3 stops we did before. So that's about $120. Not terrible. But one thing we have to consider too when we do these trips about which car we decide to take, whether it's the EV or our ICE car, is also the ease of use while we're there. Since we're going to Disneyland and Universal Studios, which is, Universal Studios in the heart of Los Angeles, Hollywood, and then you have Disneyland in Anaheim, which is densely populated, and especially with everybody going to the parks, a large SUV like this is not really easy to manipulate, especially in parking spots, structures, and if you're doing like valet, for example, well, you're just hoping they don't do anything to mess up your car, which accidents happen. I'm not going to be terribly upset. But I have to give the Tesla the nod here. It is so much easier to drive and manipulate in those type of places. And cost-wise, the Tesla is also going to be a lot cheaper. What we're going to be spending in this regard is our time. Because when it comes to driving out there, we do have to stop and charge. And actually, according to the Tesla trip planner, the normal 7-hour trip is going to be right around 9 hours according to it. I don't know how accurate that part is, although I've made the proclamation I'll never doubt the time that we're given by the Tesla apps and everything. But the reality is, last time we've done these trips, we'd spent about 8 hours in the traveling process. Because according to the Tesla trip planner, it's saying we're going to have stops of 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and 10 minutes to get to our destination. Well, we've done this trip multiple times in the past with the Tesla. We always spend about 20 to 30 minutes, 20 to 30 minutes, and 20 to 30 minutes. And the reason it's so long is we actually get out and eat and check out wherever we're at as well. Like when we stop in Quartzsite, for example, on those trips, we always stop at probably that Carl's Jr. We get some lunch, and we just kind of let the kids, get out and stretch their legs a little bit. So we are giving up time by taking the Tesla, but those charging stops historically have been about 43 to 47 cents per kilowatt hour, and the Tesla is a 55 kilowatt hour battery. And granted, we're never going to go down to quote E because it's an EV. If we lost all of our power, well, we'd be in a whole other world of problems. So we usually charge from like 20% to 90% on these road trips. So historically, it's been like between $15 and $17. However, though, just looking online last night, it looks like the kilowatt hour charging rate right now at those superchargers is right around 50 cents. Not a huge difference, but it's still in the same price range, just a little bit more in cost-wise. We are giving up that 1 to 2 hours in travel time, so we are giving up some time there. But you have to take in perspective, if we're going to be spending 5 days there, really what is an hour? It's not a big deal. So we have to really weigh these options. I think right now we are still leaning towards taking the Tesla. The only thing that's kind of throwing me off a little bit is my battery's pretty much settled where it is, because I know they give you 272 miles of estimated range, but once your battery has been used and broken in, it really settles on whatever your true range is. And for us, that's between 230 and 239 miles. And when you're on the freeway, you're using more energy, so it's more like you have to stop and charge every 120 to every 140 miles. And it is a 470-mile trip, I believe. So another consideration, do we want to run the risk, and what if the supercharger is out? Because when I did originally look to see what our charging stops would be, it told me that one of those charging stations is closed on our trip. But it didn't alter or change our path, our route, our itinerary. So I don't know if it was like a temporary downage or what. So we'll have to see. I'm wondering how bad it's vibrating. I'm trying out a new camera mount right now. It's shaking, but the video looks all right. So I don't know. What do you guys think we should do? Should we take the Tesla as we've done in the past, or take the more comfortable riding SUV? It's an odd question. I know it's Tommy's Tesla Tech and Travel, but it should also be Tommy's Tesla Tech and Common Sense Travel. The kids love the car because it's blue, the SUV. But I love my car because it's EV and I don't have to spend that much on gas. But I also don't want to put all these miles on the car. I don't know, just food for thought. But you know what? Let's go enjoy the rest of our day. We're on our way to pick up Charlie right now because my mom and my aunt were nice enough to watch him while I got a little extra work done today. Charlie, say hi, I'm back.
Hi, I'm back.
What do you want for lunch, buddy?
French fries.
Always wants French fries. All right, well, let's see if we can find a place that accommodates real food and your beloved French fries, okay? Hey, Charlie, where'd you ask where we're going?
To Disneyland.
To Disneyland? We're gonna go to Disneyland soon, in about a month, okay? Slight change in plans. It's nap time. Since he decided to take a nap, I figured we'd pull over and have some lunch while we're waiting to go pick up Henry from school. Another Disney topic I've always wanted to discuss with you guys is when's the best time to go? Because this trip, we're going during my son's spring break. This will be the first time we've ever been to the park during spring break. Since before we would go, kids weren't in school, we can go whenever we wanted, so we went to the off-peak times, at least the times that we consider to be the off-peak times. Now we're going to one of the busiest times of the year. So I'm anxious to see how quickly I lose my mind and how busy the park really is. But ideally, we used to always go when we considered to be the off-peak seasons. So I used to help someone back in the day in one of my previous jobs during college who was a Disney vacation planner. Her 100% job was she would help you plan your Disney vacation and trip. And she always gave me the same answer. I'd say, hey, when is the best time to go to the park? And she would inevitably say, every day at Disney is magical. But if I was planning my trip, which was always her loophole, she always suggested the week of Labor Day, but not on Labor Day specifically, because that 3-day weekend, most people tend to take it off to have an extended stay at the parks. Her recommendation was, if she was planning her trip, she would go to her hotel on Labor Day, check in, but then she would go to the park the next 3 days. Lo and behold, the first time Dana and I, my wife, first time we went to the park was during this time period that she suggested to us. My goodness, the park, I had never seen it so empty. We were doing serpentine patterns through New Orleans Square because no one was there. It was fantastic. Well, for us, I don't know how it worked for, dividend stockholders at the time, but it was empty those days. So we always try to plan our trips around back around that same time. The other times is the day after or week after Halloween. Because, everyone's getting ready for the holiday season, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, all those. And that lull right after Disney's Not So Scary Halloween or the Oogie Boogie Bash. That week, just after Halloween and just before going into the holiday season, again, it is some of the slower times in the park, at least I've come to discover. It's always been really slow for me, so I'll take it. And there's a great website you can check out. It's called isitpacked.com. I'll try to link it down below. It's always been historically accurate about what the park's going to look like as far as traffic goes those times. So something to check out there. But the times you don't want to go is in the middle of summer, spring break, which is when we're going, or even during those holiday times specifically, because it's always going to be packed because people go when they have time off and their kids are out of school. We cheated a little this year. We had a family vacation planned before Henry started school, so we actually took him out of school for a week to go to Disneyland, do some other stuff while we're in California. Retrospect, probably not the best parenting decision, but you know what? You learn more in the real world sometimes than you do in the classroom, and he's in kindergarten. So we made sure he stayed caught up in his work. We talked with his teacher. We got approval from the school. And we went to the park and had our pre-planned trip. Probably won't be doing that a lot going in the future unless it's something family related, like, you know, birthdays, funerals, something along those lines. But it was nice to do it. Yeah, I don't know if you can hear Charlie snoring back there. That kid is buzzing logs right now. So those are the times I would recommend going. That week of Labor Day, just after Labor Day, and that first week of November after before the holidays and just after Halloween. Those are the days or times we absolutely love going. And also September. We've had good luck in September as well. All right, well, I'm about to eat some lunch, and I decided to stop and get some junk food because there's really not a whole lot of options when kids asleep and you can't get out of the car to grab food. Got some Wiener Schnitzel, and apparently they're making a shrimp po' boy sandwich now, and I honestly couldn't resist, so I'm about to try that right now. Well, I'm going to be honest, it smells good. I mean, I wasn't planning on doing like a food review, but there it is. It's a shrimp po' boy from Wiener Schnitzel, which is just some fried shrimp, tomatoes. It looks like some sort of remoulade sauce and tomatoes. I just learned recently via the Ralph report, thanks Ralph, that the po' boy actually was started because when folks, well, it sounds like Depression era, when you couldn't afford to get food, they started some food lines where a sandwich shop is willing to make you a free sandwich if you were working on the docks, I believe he said. And they started saying when someone would walk up for the free sandwich, they could tell that someone's coming there for the free sandwich. They would say, hey, another po' boy coming. And that's where the po' boy sandwich got its start from. So thanks, Ralph, just for 10 cents a day, just as little as 10 cents a day through Patreon. Speaking of which, guys, we're working on our Patreon right now. I mean, it's just something maybe to get more content. I want to get back into podcasting. And I'm also working on our Facebook page for people that have been asking about that. So I'm about to try it. Well, let's try this sandwich and I'll give you my feedback. I'm not going to lie, it's just regular, fried shrimp from a fast food place. I'd probably recommend getting your po' boy sandwiches from some place that specializes in seafood. But hey, it was worth a try. But hey, thanks for following. If you haven't done so, please give us a like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. I'm working on some cool little lower third banners so you can see our links and everything. And just thanks for watching the videos, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is more of just a day in the life of. And hopefully we do some more trip planning stuff and some more adventurous stuff here coming soon. Just right now, it has been crazy in the life of the old Tesla Tech and family. Yeah. So keep watching. I bought it. I got to finish it. Thanks for taking a ride with us. We'll take another ride again soon. Bye-bye, everybody. Yeah, it's not good.